it's been like a reckoning. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. It's been like a reckoning. And I wrote about it in my last book. I had to, because how you're mothered. And by the way, whoever you identify as that person in your life, whoever is that person who has that role in your life, affects you. Like, how could it not? Whether if you have the relationship or a lack of, not having that relationship can impinge just as much as having the relationship.
100%.
So it's been really, really crazy. I'm not going to lie. Having to look at that has been really, really hard. And that's why I felt I needed to write about it to like comprehend it for myself.
Yeah. And I think that the aspect too of just sharing and, planting seeds with other people of like, wait, that pattern keeps showing up. Maybe it's me.
Right.
Like, I mean, I spent a lot of my life thinking it was never my fault, right? Like it, and then you end up realizing that it's your perception on the situation. It's your patterning. It's your, the kind of relationships or dynamics that you attract to show you your healing, because like you need that other person or other child or something to reflect something back to you. And it's such a journey. I mean, to unpack the childhood programming is really deep work. I mean, I've had therapists. I've for a while had 2 therapists, and there's a lot of reflecting that needs to happen to get to the bottom of it. And I don't know about you, but all of my sort of reckoning, as you said, or breakdowns to breakthroughs felt like, they felt nuclear. Like I would be like sobbing, like uncontrollably going, what is it? Where is this coming from?
Right.
And then you come out the other side and there's so much lightness to it. And I always tell people that once you started to like dive into childhood trauma or patterning, like you're so much of the way there already, because most people never do.
Yeah. But it's so funny with what you're talking about, where it's like, I'll have periods of time where I'm I'm still talking about my relationship with my mom. Like even now, it still affects me this deeply.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
crazy. It's like, but it's true. You know what I mean? It's so deep in there, and we're just like trying to get to it and figure it out. But I really do have times where I'm just like, really still like, at this point in my life, I'm still like affected by, my whatever with my mom. But our parents have such a huge impact on our everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. And now as a mom, I'm like, whoa, this is it's big.
Big responsibility. You're responsible for their attachment style, for their sort of trauma orientation as they go, because they're going to have.
Yeah, because I don't want them to be in therapy at 40 and be like, my mom. You know what I mean?
Well, I nearly am. I mean,
I'm like, can we just handle that for them, please?
But what were the things that you that you say when like not okay? What were those things that were not okay that you're like, look, moving forward with love, these things are not the patterns that I'm going to continue with my kids?
Yeah, I mean, again, now that I look back on it, it's being that we did have such an unconventional upbringing, and while that kind of freewheeling lifestyle I tended to do pretty well in, and I think it's another reason why when I was 15 and I was, going to move to a foreign country and work by myself, my mom was like, okay, go. Would I ever let my 15-year-old daughter do that? No, like she dropped me off at the airport and I had a name. This is in 1995. So things were very different then. We didn't have cell phones, but she dropped me off at the airport. I had a scrap of paper with a man's number written on it. We didn't know who this guy was. There's someone I was supposed to call when I got to Italy.
Oh my God.
And she's like, all right, love you. And like drives off and, but back then it's like, she was always kind of an eccentric artist as well. So I think just the idea of me going and working in Italy, she was like, go. And I think there was a part of her that knew I'd be okay. But even still looking back, I'm like, I would never let my kid do that. But I think a lot of the hands-off parenting of never talking to her kids about anything that we would be going through as children.
Oh, sure.
Being a kid
Emotional.
sucks.
Being emotional.
Sucks. Yes.
Being held that way.
Yes. And being a kid, it sucks. It's like so hard. It's hard enough just being a person. And being a kid, having to learn all this stuff. Oh my God. Like, it's just, now it's like I can reflect on stuff and be like, okay, cool. So I know that what that person's doing. I've worked with enough people in my career to know, like, okay, that person, stay away from that person. Don't work with them. You know what I mean? Like, as a kid, there's so much to learn and it's so awful. And you're learning all this stuff about like social peer groups and this and that and whatever, and puberty and growing up, and like my kids aren't there yet, but they will be. And I'm going to talk to my kids about all of it.